Hello, lovely. Thank you so much for joining me today. Coming to you in a bizarre state because we are going to be doing another looks on a budget, and I thought I would show you some of the before prep. So, in today's video, we're going to be creating a look that I would get with my luxury and high-end products at home, but with all affordable products. So I'm talking the hair care, the skin care, the body care, fragrance, makeup, everything is going to be drugstore and very affordable. I did one of these the other day, it's already up on my channel, where I did a look that was very reminiscent of what I get from my Pillow Talk products from Charlotte Tilbury. Um, and people seem to really enjoy it and asked for more of it. And I've got so many ideas for more of these videos, but I'm really running out of time. I've only got a couple of days left here at the caravan, and I've got about 6 videos that I want to film. So, like I say, today we're doing looks on a budget because that seemed to be so well received, and if that sounds like something you'd be interested in seeing and you like watching affordable beauty, then please do stick around. Subscribe to my channel if you haven't already. I would absolutely love to have you here to spend some more time with you in the future. Leave me a comment if you would like to see more of these looks on a budget. I can definitely do more of these when I get home. I do have drugstore makeup at home, but not quite as much as I do here at the van, but I can definitely do more there. And I also have a get to know me Q&A coming. If you haven't already left me a question, then there is a question place to put your questions on my community tab. I will more than likely be doing that once I get home because, as I say, I am running out of time. But yeah, let's get on with it. Without further ado, let's put some makeup on my face. Okay, and I've taken those eye patches off because they had started to dry. I'd had them on for quite a while and I couldn't take myself seriously with them on. So what I was going to do today is just talk you through all the things that I would do if I was going on an evening out, at an event, a nice occasion, something like that. And I wanted to just take that extra bit of time to pamper myself, to make sure the look was a little bit more luxe than the everyday. And obviously everything is going to be using affordable products. Now, I do have a beverage today. I have a very, very full mug of tea. My dad's just made me this cup of tea and he has a habit of overfilling them. So I have spilt it all over my bed and all down my front, which is, not very luxe, but there you go. I haven't done my skin prep yet because I thought I would talk you through some of those bits as well. So as you saw, I started out with the brightening and depuffing eye patches. These are the vitamin C ones from Primark and these are £1.50, and I have absolutely been loving these. I love how hydrated and plumped up they leave my under eye area and they don't aggravate my rosacea. I also have a little collection of sheet masks here, and I swear by the Primark ones because these are actually made in Korea, so you're getting, the good quality like Korean beauty. So I have the Prep and Perfect Hydrating Priming Sheet Mask, the Prep and Perfect Illuminating Priming Sheet Mask, and the Firming Sheet Mask. I also have a few from B&M. I quite like especially when I'm having a rosacea flare up, the B&M Cucumber, or Home Bargains do them as well. They're just a basic cucumber sheet mask. I did one of those the other night and that really helped with my rosacea. if I had loads of time and I'd had a nice hot soak, I would probably do a sheet mask, but tonight I've just gone with the eye patches. Some of the things that I thought I would talk you through is hair care. Now, I have actually been to the hairdressers today. I've had my hair cut and coloured, so that bit is taken care of. But some budget hair care products that I absolutely swear by and that have been treating me very nicely are, I have been using the L'Oreal Elvive Miracle Hair Perfector. This is the extraordinary oil. I have been using this for years. I've gone through countless bottles of this. This is just the original extraordinary oil. They have since out brought different versions of it. They've brought out like a midnight oil, which I'm quite interested in trying, but these are so reminiscent of the very expensive like luxury oils that you can buy from the hairdressers. I really love this one. I always put this through my hair after I've washed and conditioned it before I go in with my hairdryer and hot tools, because it has up to 230-degree heat protection. Another one that I bought for specifically here at the van because of how my hair hates the water here. I got the Tresemme Lamella Shine Leave-In Cream Serum, and this is an ultra gloss salon finish. Now, I don't love the Tresemme shampoos and conditioners that I've used in the past, but this Lamella Shine Leave-In Cream Serum has got me wanting to try the Lamella Shine shampoo and conditioner. It is beautiful. It leaves your hair feeling so soft and silky and shiny, and when I come out of the shower here, the water makes my hair feel like cotton wool. So this and this have been like a beautiful combination. And then for an extra layer of heat protection, I really like the Tresemme Heat Defense. This is the Care and Protect spray, and this one is up to 230-degree heat protection as well. So this one is, I think, one of the most popular heat protections you can get at the drugstore, and it's been great for me. I really like it. I love the smell of it and how my hair feels. Sometimes I've used some heat protectors and they make my hair feel a bit claggy afterwards, and this doesn't do that. Then for another layer of like getting myself prepared for a nice occasion, I got these teeth whitening strips from either B&M or Home Bargains. I have used the very expensive teeth whitening strips, the ones that are the Crest ones that you can only get sort of imported from America, and these are just as good. These actually don't make my teeth as sensitive as those Crest ones. You just put these in, leave them for between half an hour or an hour and a half, and they just like brighten and whiten the teeth. If I wasn't drinking a mug of tea and talking, I would have a pair of these in now. And obviously, being B&M and Home Bargains, super cheap. Then for some body prep, I've obviously got some nice like shower gels. I use those Treacle Moon shower gels, and I keep some of the minis here, and that's what I'm using here in the shower at the moment. For after I get out of the shower, I've also got some nice products. So I really love the Aldi Hotel Collection perfumes. I've got the #1 lime, basil and mandarin, and the one I'm wearing today is my newest one, which is the #39 poppy and barley. Now these are big 100ml bottles, and these are, I think, £6.99. They do, I think it's 4 cents, and they sometimes bring out like limited edition ones, but these ones you can always get hold of. I've also got the pomegranate one at home. And these are dupes of Jo Malone fragrances. I mean, even the bottle is pretty much identical, but these actually last on the skin. They have a good like time that the fragrance lingers, which I often find with a lot of like cheap fragrances, you don't get the wear time, whereas these you really do. I can smell these on my clothes the next day. And then I've also got, I should have picked up the poppy and barley one, but I didn't. I've got the lime basil and mandarin body lotion as well, so I can layer my scents. And this is a hand and body lotion. Then for a few tanning bits, I don't often tan, fake tan. But I have been here occasionally and I've had that urge to have a bit of colour. So I picked up the classic St. Moritz tanning mousse. You can get this from B&M and Home Bargains. They also now do it in Superdrug, and I think you can get it in most places. And this is a really good price for a tanning mousse, and it really does perform like some of the higher end like Saint Tropez and things like that. I got mine in the shade medium. It gives you a nice even tan without any like streakiness. It's got a good guide colour as well. Because I'm so fair, I do need a good guide colour, and I really enjoy this. For a gradual tanner, I actually discovered this by accident. This is the Garnier Ambre Solaire Soothing After Sun, and it has a little bit of tan enhancer in it. I can't use most after suns because they all contain aloe vera, and I am allergic to aloe vera. And we discovered we'd already purchased this for, you know, the family after sun. And my mum was applying it to my dad, and we we couldn't understand why his head was going so brown. And then we realised that it contains fake tan. So I use this occasionally as an all over body lotion to give that little bit of a glow. It does have that after sun cooling properties, but the idea is that it prolongs the tan that you've got naturally. But for me, it just gives me a light sort of golden glow. And then I mentioned these in my last Luxe on a budget. I still have the remnants of this mist that I put on my face, neck, chest and shoulders. This is the Hydro Glow Tanning Facial Mist, and this is powerful stuff. This does leave a real good colour on the skin, and it lasts as well. I've also got the 10-second tan. This is the Bronze Boost, and this is an instant matte tan. So if I was wearing something where, I don't know, I'd got my legs on display, God forbid I never get my legs out, but if I did, I could put a little bit of this on just to give them a bit of colour. I've also done things like mix them in with body lotions just to add a bit of colour to my body lotion. And because it is like matte, it doesn't sort of stick to anything and transfer. I've also got, and I forgot to mention this in my last one, this is also from Be Perfect, and I got it, whoops, I got it at the same time I got this and the Hydro Glow Facial Mist, which has just gone on the floor. This is the Body Talk. It's a liquid luster body glow. It's like a body makeup, and this is very, very similar to the Fenty, is it the Body Lava? I have that one at home, and this is super similar. But Be Perfect is available on TikTok Shop, and they also do a lot of bundle deals, which is what I did with these things that I've got. So I think I'm going to pop a little bit of that on my chest and up onto my neck once I've done my skincare. Now, for my skincare, all my skincare is also budget and affordable. I'm not going to do my skincare on camera because it'll make the video super long, but I'm just going to talk you through some of my favourite skin prep items that I have. So I've got the Hydrate and Soothe serum spray. This is coconut fragranced with hyaluronic acid and an artemisia flower. This is from Primark and was £4. This is lovely and soothing, and it really does add a nice kind of like glass skin-esque look. I don't have any skincare on my face at the moment. I've literally just double cleansed. I've worn makeup once today, took it off, and I'm gonna put some more on for this video, so my skin is just like its natural glow. I also have been absolutely loving the rosacea treatment that I purchased. This is very affordable, so if you are suffering from rosacea or skin redness or anything like that and you're looking for an affordable option, this one from Boots number 7 is brilliant. I also love my little eye care duo that I've been using. So I've got the simple hydrating eye gel, and then I go over the top with the caffeine eye cream. This is from the Me Plus, which is Superdrug's own skincare brand, and it's sort of like The Ordinary kind of prices. And then I have been relying very heavily on the Aveeno Oat Calm and Restore line. The serum, you can see I've used quite a lot of it. I absolutely love this. It's so hydrating, leaves the skin feeling so soothed but plumped up and hydrated. Same goes for the moisturiser. This is a gel moisturiser, so if you've got oily skin, it would still work on oily skin. It's got oat in it, so it's super soothing, but it leaves a beautiful base for makeup. And then I've also been using the balm. This is the Calm and Restore Oat Rich Balm for dry to very dry skin, and this is beautiful for skin prep before makeup as well. I like using this on this area of my chin because before I do any makeup I always pluck um, the hair that grows under here, because I have polycystic ovarian syndrome, and that area is usually quite angry and bumpy and like it has texture, and I can also get ingrowing hairs, and things like this or the CeraVe Intense Repair ointment and the La Roche-Posay Cicaplast balm, these are great for putting on those areas. It helps get rid of like ingrown hairs and things like that. So I have been doing that with this, and it's been beautiful. Another thing that I absolutely love to make my skin look bright and healthy is the Garnier Vitamin C Brightening Serum Cream. This has got SPF 25 in it, but it has like a golden sheen running through it. It's nothing obvious, so you're not going to have like a metallic sheen to the skin, but it gives that glass skin vibe. And I love putting this on after my serums and then put this on top. If you have oily skin, this would probably be enough, because even though it's a serum, it has the texture of a moisturiser, like a light moisturiser. And I actually got compliments today at the hairdressers on my skin, on how I looked like I'd got glass skin, and this definitely helped with that. So another moisturiser that I love is Basic Nivea Soft. This is really nice to put on under makeup as a nice light day cream. If you've got dry, mature skin, this is beautiful. I also use the Nivea Blue in the tin at night time. So those are my budget skin, hair and body care recommendations. Okay, so all my skin prep is done and I've put a little bit of that body talk on, and now I am going to prime my skin. So for primer, I want something that is going to make my skin look nice and juicy, nice and healthy, but I also want my makeup to stick around. So I do tend to go in with more than one primer. So today I'm going to be using the I Heart Revolution Tasty Watermelon Primer. This one is like a gel. Um, it leaves the skin looking hydrated. I mean, my skin already looks quite hydrated, but this just leaves a nice layer of like juice on the skin, but it also has a bit of stick to it, which is what I want for if I'm going out. You know, I want my makeup to stick around, but I don't love super matte products. I like to have that like glass skin kind of vibe. So I'm going in with that one. You can see it's just left my skin looking really fresh and juicy. The moisturizer I have on is the Nivea Soft, and that also makes my skin look really beautiful and healthy. Now, I also want a glow. In my last video, I used the Collection Filter Finish, which is basically like a dupe of the Charlotte Tilbury Flawless Filter, Elf Halo Glow. You know, there's been countless ones of those bought out, but the Collection one is the one I have here. But tonight I'm actually going to go in with the Revolution Pro Glow Skin Perfector, and this is a CC enhancer with light reflecting technology, high def radiance and a luminous skin finish, and this one is in the shade Gold. And this one is kind of like a similar look to the Charlotte Tilbury Wonder Glow, which is one of my absolute favourite primers. It is like a golden primer that's very hydrating, but leaves like a light luminosity to the skin. I absolutely love that primer, but I think she has actually discontinued it. But this one gives a very similar effect to the Charlotte Tilbury, and it looks beautiful under foundation. And you can just see the glow that's on my hand and also how stunning my skin looks. So what I'm going to do now is, because I am getting ready for an imaginary special occasion, I tend to give myself ages to get ready, at least 2.5, 3 hours, because I get social anxiety and I'm just an anxious person in general. If I have to rush, that ratchets my anxiety up to like level 11. So I like to give myself plenty of time to even stop between steps and just decompress a little bit. So what I'm going to do now is actually give my primers chance to soak into my skin, to set down, do their thing before I go in with foundation, because sometimes if you apply your primer and then your foundation straight away after, your primer's not going to be effective, and also you can get pilling and things like that. Your foundation might separate if you're using like two different bases, like a water based and a silicone based. You're going to get separation and things like that. So I'm going to just go away, sit for 5 minutes and let this soak in, and then we'll do the rest of my base. Okay, and while I was away, I just also added on my Revolution Line Fix Under Eye Primer. This is a non-negotiable for me, Luxe or budget. I've not found anything that works as well as this for me. This prepares my under eyes for concealer. It stops my mascara transferring so bad, and it just makes everything, eyeshadow, everything, just go on a lot nicer. So I swear by that. I've got like one here, one at home, and would recommend it to anybody. Now, for foundation, I have mentioned that I'm not a lover of a matte full coverage foundation these days. But if I am going out for a special occasion, those are the ones that I tend to reach for, because I know that they're going to give me that flawless base, they're going to last a long time on the skin, and the way I alter them from being super matte is by what I put on underneath. So tonight I'm going to be using the IRL Filter Longwear Foundation. This is a breathable soft matte, but I am going to use this in a light layer rather than put a ton of it on and to get a super full coverage. This is a beautiful foundation. It reminds me a lot of foundations like the NARS, the one in the tall skinny bottle, and MAC Studio Fix Fluid. It's not going to give you the coverage of, say, Estee Lauder Double Wear, although it probably could be built up to that level. But this one actually feels a lot nicer on the skin than Estee Lauder Double Wear. I find Double Wear makes me feel like I'm wearing a mask, and this one I don't get that with. So as you can see, I'm just putting a very light layer on, and I'm spreading it across my skin with my finger, because a little bit of this foundation does spread quite a long way. And I'm going to blend that in with a damp beauty sponge just to help add a little bit more of a glow. And there we go, that is just a light layer of the Revolution IRL Filter Foundation, and you can see it's retained the glow. You can still see some of my skin peeking through, which I like, but it's evened everything out and it will last. That is the thing about doing the right skin prep and using the right primers. It's going to last. So even though it looks nice and glossy and would perhaps be a bit too dewy for some people, the right skin prep with the right powders, that sort of thing, it is going to last a long time on the skin. Now, for concealer, I'm going to be using today the Luxe, which is Aldi's brand. This is the brightening concealer, and this is a dupe for the Clinique concealer, the one that has the like little sponge tip applicator. And I'm going to use this to help create some dimension on my face. And again, I'm going to blend this out with my damp sponge. Okay, and now I want to add a little bit of colour back into my face, because I am looking very flat and one-dimensional. And the bronzer that I'm going to be using today is the Makeup Academy Bronzed. This is definitely Luxe on a budget. This is a beautiful cream bronzer, and it is super, super affordable. Then I'm also going to be using, for cream highlight, I'm going to be using the Collection Filter Finish liquid highlight wand in the shade Strobe Light. This is a dupe for the Charlotte Tilbury Spotlight wand. And for cream blush today, I'm going to be taking a little of my a very small amount of my Revolution Fast Base blush stick in the shade Spicy. I'm going for kind of a very soft nude neutral eye and a more vampy lip, so this is going to tie in nicely with that. So for the cream bronzer, I'm going to use my favourite brush for cream bronzer. This is just from a little old BH Cosmetics set. And as I mentioned in my previous looks on a budget video, all of the brushes and tools that I'm using are also super affordable. They are either from Amazon, I've got like a cheap Amazon brush set. I've got a lot of brushes from Primark, and then this old BH Cosmetics set. There we go. And that just blends so easily into the skin and has such a lovely finish. And then for the highlight wand, and I'm going to use the same brush just to help blend that in. And then this blush is incredibly pigmented, so I only want a very small amount of it. And I'm going to keep the blush nice and high on my cheekbones. Okay, so that is my skin done. Now I just want to give my skin a spritz with some setting spray. I'm going to be using the Makeup Revolution Infinite Mattifying Setting Spray. This has a 16-hour long wear time on it, and I'm just going to spritz my skin with this. And I'm going to let that dry down, and then we'll go in with powders. Okay, so now my setting spray has dried down, I'm going to set my face with powder. And the first powder that I'm going to be going in with is the Makeup Revolution Pressed Powder Infinite. This reminds me a lot of the NARS Light Reflecting Pressed Powder in the shade Crystal. It has that super lightweight, almost invisible texture. It feels like you're not picking up anything on the brush at all, but once you touch it to your face, you can see that, you know, everything is set, but it doesn't look flat matte. And that is what I am looking for in a powder, because I have dry skin. I don't want to look dry and cakey. And I like using a smaller brush for this sort of powder, where I go in like my under eyes, down the sides of my nose, that sort of thing, so I can be a bit more precise and targeted. And then for setting the majority of my face, I'm going to use the I Heart Revolution Coconut Baking Powder, and this reminds me a lot of the Huda Beauty baking powders. I think it's the shade Sugar Cookie that I've got, which is a white one. And I'm just going to use a very big fluffy brush and just apply a light layer, because I want to set my base, but I don't want a powdery finish. So that has now set all of my foundation and everything down, so that when I go in with my powder bronzer, it's not going to gather or look like chunky or anything. For my powder bronzer, I'm going to be using my Wet n Wild Colour Icon bronzer in the shade Sunset Striptease. Now this is an old faithful. This has got a slight radiance to it, but for fair skin, it is a beautiful tone. You can see that like lovely golden radiance that it's left. And you can be quite heavy-handed with this because it's not like incredibly pigmented, but it's pigmented enough, unlike my Physicians Formula butter bronzer, which I found just didn't really do anything for me. Okay, so now I've done my powder bronzer, I'm going to go in again with another layer of my setting spray. And I'm going to go off camera, do my brows and prime my eyes, and then we'll come back to do an eye look. Okay, so I've done my brows and prime my eyes. For my brows, because I'm going for more of a glam look, I've done a bit of a stronger brow. Usually I would just use the brow gel on its own, but I have gone through with the Revolution micro brow pencil and then the e.l.f. Wow Brow. To prime my eyes, I've used the e.l.f. No Budge Shadow Stick in the shade Rose Gold. And I'm actually not going to set this eye primer down because I want to keep that kind of a glossy lid. The palette that inspired today's look is the Makeup Academy Soft Nudes palette. Now, I used this today, this morning, and as I was using it, I thought, honestly, this gives me Natasha Denona I Need a Nude vibes, especially these like cooler, very neutral tones. Now that eyeshadow palette has been on my wish list since it was announced. So has the golden and so has the I Need a Warm, but I haven't allowed myself to purchase it. And when I was looking at this palette today, I thought I could definitely get the kind of look that I would create with the I Need a Nude palette. And I have heard that the Natasha Denona I Need a Nude palette is very neutral, bordering on cool tones on a lot of people. So I'm going to be sticking with those cooler tones in this palette. So to start with, I'm going to be going in with this middle matte shade here, which is very neutral. And I'm just going to be using a very fluffy blending brush, and I'm going to be running that all through my crease and out. Okay, and now to add a little bit of depth, although the Natasha Denona I Need a Nude palette, to me, from what I can see, doesn't contain a lot of depth. You're not going to get much depth or smokiness from that palette. So I'm first going to go in with this sort of more rosy kind of a tan, and then I am going to deepen ever so slightly with this cool toned shade. And I'm keeping that one shade up, more concentrated towards the outer corner lash line, and I'm not blowing it out quite so high. But I'm going to keep switching back to my original brush to help blend everything together. And I do like to take my eyeshadows out quite far. Okay, and that is all I'm going to do for mattes. Now, the thing that really stands out to me about the Natasha Denona I Need a Nude palette is how super sparkly and piecey the shimmers look. They're kind of like the star of the show in that palette, and you get some super sparkly, shiny shades in this palette as well. The first one I'm going to go in with to keep that kind of like cooler tone is this one here, and then I'm actually going to top it with this one to get that really like blinding shine. And I'm just going to apply these with my fingers. First of all though, I am going to actually go in with a little bit of the XX Revolution transparent eye base, because I really want these to pop. And you do have to be quite careful with this because it's quite an oily texture, and it will lift any matte work that you've done if you're not careful. So I've just put a tiny bit of it on, and I'm just tapping over it with my finger. And then I'm going to go straight in with that shimmer while it's still super tacky. That's a really pretty shimmer. And I'm just going to clean up around where I've put that shimmer on, with the second brush that I used. Okay, and then I'm going to go in with that more piecey shadow, and these are unreal. You only have to tap into these, and I'm going to keep that kind of in the center. And again, back in with that second brush. Really stunning. And then for the inner corner, I think I'm actually going to go for matte inner corner. I'm going to take this lightest ivory here and just pop that on the inner corner. And then I can always go over that with my face highlighter. And then I'm also going to put some of that under my brow bone. Okay, so that is the eyeshadow done. Now I do want liner with this look. I'm actually going to use black and silver. The black, I'm going to do a little smoky lash line, and then I'm going to put the silver in my waterline. I'm not going to be applying lashes today. I don't often wear lashes. If I was going to a super nice occasion, if it was my birthday or something like that, then I probably would take the time. But I can get just as good as an effect with a good mascara. So I'm going to go away, do my liner, curl my lashes, load up some mascara, and then we'll finish the face and the lips. Okay, so that is my eyes complete. The liners that I have used, I have talked about many times before. These are the Makeup Revolution Streamline eyeliners. This formula is so beautiful, so sophisticated. They remind me a lot of the Victoria Beckham satin kajals, whereas they go on super wet, and you can manipulate them to create a wing. They work really great in the waterline, and they set down and they don't budge. They're beautiful. And then for my mascara, I used the Primark So Extra mascara. This was £3, and it's got the traditional, like, hourglass kind of a wand and a good few coats of that. Gives me glam enough lashes. Now, to finish the face, we're going to be using this highlighter from Makeup Academy. This is the Radiant Cashmere Shimmer Highlight, and I got this one to use as a shimmery bronzer, but with a very light hand and buffed into the skin very well. It looks super beautiful, so it's great for like a summer night out. So I'm just buffing this into the skin, and I've used a very light hand. I haven't picked up a super generous amount, and I'm tapping off the brush as well. And I'm just keeping that to the cheekbones and round my eye a little bit. And then for my blusher, I'm going with a classic and one that I find is super glam and super luxe, and that is Milani Luminoso. It's stayed a classic in many people's collections for a reason. It's really beautiful, and for these like summery looks, it's perfect. And this was a freebie, so it really is looks on a budget. And I'm actually brushing it over where I've put my highlighter and across my nose. There we go. So that is the face and the eyes done. Now we're going to choose a statement lip. Okay, and for my lips, we're going to be doing my favourite summer statement lip. I love an orange or an orangey red, and these three from L'Oreal are absolutely stunning. So the first one I have here is the shade Magnetic Coral. I've spoke about the L'Oreal lipsticks in previous videos. These are the Colour Riche satins. The smell is so super nostalgic. They do so many colours. They're a really decent price, and they're a really beautiful formula. So this is the shade Magnetic Coral. I will swatch these. So it's like a true sort of like almost neon orange. Then we have the shade Chez Louis, which is number 148. And that one is again a super bright orange. And the last one I have is shade 146 Orange Avenue. And this one is more of a red orange. So for this look, I think I'm going to go with the first one, Magnetic Coral. And for my lip liner, when I'm wearing that kind of a lip, I do like more of a nude lip liner. So I'm going to be going for obviously one of my Makeup Academy lip liners, and I'm going to be going for the Intense Colour lip liner in the shade Heartfelt. And this one is very well loved. It needs another sharpen. Okay, so let's go in with Magnetic Coral. And this one, I'm not sure if I said the number. This is shade 373. And there we go. And do we think this needs a gloss? No, I don't think it does, but I will just add a little of a lip gloss, a shimmery lip gloss just to the center so you can sort of see the difference in the finish. And I love these Makeup Revolution gloss bombs. This is the shimmer bomb in the shade Glimmer, and I'm just going to put a little bit of that and there we go. That is my makeup finished. Now to finish this look, I've already done my hair. Well, it was done for me. I've gone much warmer in my tones, embracing that autumnal colour palette. And I should be wearing gold jewellery, but I am going to go for a nice pair of silver hoops. And all of my jewellery that I have here comes from Primark. You just can't go wrong with Primark jewellery. They usually do the hoops in like packs, like multiple packs. Like I've got a pack here that I can show you. Like those for £3.50. And then I've got some more fun blue ones, £4.50. But I'm going to go for these silver ones. And these are like a sort of squiggly sort of a shape. I'm missing a back. And there we go. There is my second Luxe on a Budget look completed, inspired by the Natasha Denona I Need a Nude, using a £6 palette from Makeup Academy. I hope that this was helpful. I hope you enjoyed this as much as my first go round at this. Thank you so much for watching. I know that my videos are on the longer side, but I hope I'm just being extra informative. Thank you so much for watching. I really do appreciate it. If you haven't already, before you go, please do consider subscribing to my channel. It's absolutely free, but it means the absolute world to me. And I think I've taken up enough of your time. I love you so much, and I'll see you in my next video. Bye, lovely.